Hello, this is NanoDano at devdungeon.com with a video on how to create a desktop notification in Linux with Python. Check the description for links to all the source code. I'm using Ubuntu here, but this is not limited to Ubuntu. It should work with any distribution as long as it has the right prerequisites installed. For this example, we're going to use the gobject introspection library in tandem with the pygobject Python package to interact with the dbus notification system. Although this utilizes gobject, which is part of the GNOME library, this technique is not limited just to the GNOME desktop environment. If you use KDE, XFCE, OpenBox, Mate, or any of the other desktop environments, this should still work. Most of the popular distributions support and implement a version of the freedesktop.org dbus notification service. On Ubuntu, you don't need to install anything. It comes with everything you need right out of the box. When I tried it on a simple Debian install with just the Mate desktop installed, I did have to install a couple things. I had to install pygobject and the notifications package. I did that with sudo apt install python-gi and gir 1.2-notify-0.7. Let's start now by creating a new Python file. For this example, I'm going to use gedit and create a new file named notifier.py. Let's start by importing the necessary package. Type from gi.repository import notify. The next line is notify.init, and we pass it the name of our application. That's the boilerplate we need for now. Now we can create a very basic notification and immediately show it with notify.notification.new, the message as a parameter, and then call .show. Okay, let's run it and try it out now. You can see it at the top, and we can click it to dismiss it. It worked, but it gave us this ugly warning. What is this? PyGI warning. Notify was imported without specifying a version first. Use GI require version before import to ensure that the right version gets loaded. Okay, well we can do that. It even gives us the answer. So let's fix that really quick. At the top, add the line that they told us to. gi.require version notify 0.7. We'll also need to add a line before that to import GI. This will resolve the reference to gi.require version. Right now, the notification just has one little message that says hello, but you can actually provide two text values, the summary and a longer description. To do that, just pass a second string to the new notification object like this. You can also use some basic HTML like bold, italic, and underline. It's not quite full-on HTML, so don't use strong or EM or try to insert images or make hyperlinks. All it really understands is B, I, and U tags for bold, italic, and underline. Let's make a word bold to show an example. You can also add line breaks with the /n character. You don't have to call show immediately, so let's change this to store the notification object as a variable and then call show later on a separate line. Let's run it at this point to see how it's looking. Notice the summary and the bold word in the multiple line body. You can customize the notifications even more by setting custom images and changing the urgency levels. First, let's clean up this code a little bit, make it a little bit more readable. Now, to add an image, just pass a third parameter to the new method and provide the path to an image file. In this case, I just have a PNG named image.png. Let's run it and see how it looks. It looks good. If you don't have any custom images, you can still use any of the system icons. For example, there's an icon named dialog-information and one named dialog-error. We can just pass in the name of one of these icons. You can find out what icons you have installed by looking under /user/share/icons. You can look around in the Ubuntu theme folders or any of the others. no matter what subdirectory it's under, you can simply pass it the file name excluding the extension. Let's try one out. How about emblem-OK from the Humanity theme? Let's replace the icon name and then run it. The icon changed to a smiley face, so it looks like it worked. You can also change the urgency level of a notification with the setUrgency method on the notification object. It accepts a 0, 1, or a 2, 2 being the highest level of urgency. In Ubuntu, a level 2 notification will remain open until it is explicitly closed. A 0 or a 1 will disappear after a few seconds automatically. A level 2 notification might be useful for something like an outage, where you want the notification to stay up the entire time there's an outage. But whenever the outage is over, you want the notification to close itself, indicating the problem has gone away. There is a close method on the notification object if you want to close it programmatically. Note that you can reuse the same notification object and modify it if needed before showing it again. You can use the update method on the notification object to do this. I'm going to comment it out here because I don't actually want to call it here, but I want it to be there for reference. Also note that there is a notify.uninit method to clean up everything when you're done. One drawback to the method we used is that you can't use the GI package in a virtual environment. If you want to use a virtual environment, first create one, then load it, and then install a package named PGI with pip install PGI. Then you need to replace any reference to GI with a reference to PGI in the source code. Then you can run the file from the virtual environment and everything should work. There's also an alternative out there with a pip package named Notify2. This is a pure Python solution that communicates directly to the dbus server using Python dbus. It supports the same basic syntax for creating a notification. Another potential alternative is the Kivy Plier package. The Plier package is cross-platform, but it also does a lot more than just notifications. It's also worth mentioning that there is a program called Notify Send. You can install it using sudo apt install libnotify-bin. This package provides a simple command line program to trigger a notification. Depending on your use case, you may just want to script in this program to a bash script. Look to the manual page for more information on using the Notify Send program. If you really wanted, you could just execute the Notify Send program from Python using os.system and then passing it the command. You could also use the subprocess and call subprocess.call and pass it the parameters too. Well, that's all I've got for now. I hope you can take this knowledge and apply it to your own projects. Thanks for watching. Check out devdungeon.com and subscribe to the channel.